Hello everybody, welcome back once again to the Triangle Strategy Walkthrough. Alright, so we're just getting ready to do our final decision of the game again. third time around. So right here at Castle Wolford it says, once again House Wolford stands before three diverging paths. The time has come to lay their convictions bare before the scales and make their greatest decision yet. Yeah, it even gives you the warning here that you're approaching a turning point, and it's recommended that you save your current progress. Yeah, why not? I mean, I've already actually done this, but we'll just save again.
You are certain Hyzan's army marches for the Grand Norzelian mines?
There is no doubt.
They've heard word of the crystals.
It was only a matter of time. We knew this.
Esfrost's army gathers at Twinsgate as well.
War's breaking out over this thing, and we've got to be ready.
How will Glenbrook respond, King Roland?
There's no need to prepare for war. I have decided that we will surrender the salt crystals to the holy state of Hyzant.
What?
Furthermore, I hereby declare that the kingdom of Glenbrook and its people shall submit to the goddess and her teachings. There is no way to bring happiness to all Norzelia with the salt crystals. Which is why I have chosen a path that will allow the greatest number of people to live in equality and harmony.
How could you? Do you not see that Hyzant's dominion over Norzelia's salt is why we are in conflict already? Is the suffering of the Rosal not proof enough that the goddess's vaunted equality is a lie?
She speaks the truth, my king. Handing over the salt crystals is tantamount to giving Hyzant's goddess free reign of Norzelia. Will you so readily surrender the realm to the Hierophant?
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike. A small price to pay in my eyes, in exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
And the sacrifice of the Rosal, is that a small price to you?
It is.
How could you say such a thing to my face?
I, for one, oppose. I would prefer to ally with Esfrost and strike back at Hyzant. The salt deposits within the mines give us the leverage we need to convince Gustadolf to join us.
Ally with Esfrost? You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
I see no reason why we should not. You proposed abdicating the throne for the sake of the kingdom and its people. So you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
I cannot believe my own ears. I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered!
None of you can see beyond your own grievances. It's no wonder my people have suffered for generations. We're told to believe in the goddess, while our own lives are thrown away to make a few more grains of your precious salt. And now, even with proof that the goddess is a lie, you would watch us dig our own graves for your comfort.
Lady Frederica, please. We shall speak of the Rosal in due time.
No, I've heard that before. Your due time is never, and I will not have you cast us aside for another 3 decades or more. All else is in disarray. If Hyzant seizes the salt crystals, we forfeit the best opportunity in decades to free my people. We know the truth. We must act upon it. We must be a light in the darkness.
We cannot afford to dilute our forces when the enemy marches on us as we speak.
So we are a distraction to you?
I am merely being rational. Liberating the Rosal would be extremely dangerous. We cannot take such a risk. Suppose we succeed. How do you propose we fend off the fury Hyzant will rain down upon us?
Esfrost would pounce on us, sensing weakness at the undue burden we've taken upon ourselves.
Precisely. we would be without allies and ripe for the taking.
There is another way.
And what, pray tell, would that be?
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Centralia is a myth.
The legends of my people are true.
I care not one whit if they are. I will hear no talk of forsaking the Wolfort domain.
Silence! I have heard enough to know where each of you stand. Do you all hold the courage of your own convictions?
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Very well. But know that a choice must be made. There can only be one way forward. Face the scales of conviction and prepare to make peace with the outcome.
All right, the vote we take today may well open a rift between us. Nevertheless, it must proceed, and I am prepared to accept its outcome. All right, so this is going to be by far the worst decision of all of the walkthroughs I've made, but it has to be done. We're going to go with Roland's route. Again, I absolutely hate this this vote phase, and actually I hate Roland's ending. I think it's just by far the worst of all of them. But let's do our two conviction choices, and then we'll get working on the vote. So the servant says, to think King Roland, Lady Frederica, and Sir Benedict's convictions were diverged so greatly after all this time. Just between you and me, Lord Cyrano, what do you make of their plans? I'm going to go with the utility route, because this is, basically just going along with the route that I'm going to end up taking. So it says, I think Roland intends to put his personal feelings aside to bring peace and equality to everyone. Even so, could that not be accomplished by his powers as king alone? Even if it were for the sake of the people, I think offering up the kingdom itself to be too great a price to pay. Between his duties as king, his own abilities, and his indelible grudges, Roland has long struggled to find balance between ideals and reality. And at the end of all of this deliberation, he has decided that our kingdom is a befitting price to pay for a divine boon. Everyone's choices are deeply rooted in their convictions. It makes me wonder if they're able to abide by the Scales' decision. Lord Serenoa, it will fall to you to lead everyone down the right path. Of course, I wish for all of us to walk astride the same path as we always have. So Frederica is the morality choice. Roland is the utility. So then that must be Benedict is the liberty choice. Is that right? I guess for sure Frederica's makes sense, because like that. Again, I've said it a couple of times throughout the different playthroughs that she's like the moral compass of the game. So that makes sense. Roland and utility, I suppose you can make that's a pretty fair case, right? By kind of going along with Hyzant, maybe things will be more equal for everybody. So I think that's maybe accurate. Liberty with Benedict, though, maybe that makes sense too. Yeah, I don't know. That one I'd have to think a little bit through, but. Anyways, all right, let's talk to the next Wolfort soldier here. So he says, Lord Sereno, I cannot help but feel that our greatest battle lies ahead, regardless of which path you choose. I know that this may not be the best time to say so, but my wife gave birth to our first child not a few days ago. You are a father before a soldier. It is your duty to protect those, to protect your own house before that of Wolfort. Or I will not force you to march with us. I only ask that you act according to your own convictions, or we must pull together if we are to emerge victorious. I ask that you see us through this final battle. I'm going to go with that one. Sir, your words have swayed me. I will give everything I have and more for House Wolfort. Will make my family proud, I swear it. Thank you, Lord Serenoa. It is an honor to call you my lord. Okay, so the three, Roland, Frederica, and Benedict, can't be swayed. So I won't bother speaking with any of them, but let's start out here with, oops, I almost messed up. We're going to start out here with Gila, but I'm going to save my game one last time here before I start this phase. So I got to make sure that I get this completely right.
What do you need?
So each path before us demands a great sacrifice in exchange for a great reward. I am sure that King Roland, Benedict, and Frederica have agonized over their proposals. So now we must agonize over our own decisions. I should also say that unfortunately with Roland's path, Frederica leaves. I guess of the three, Frederica's path is in my opinion, like from a battles standpoint, Frederica's choice is the toughest because Benedict leaves, and I rely a lot on Benedict. Whereas again, Roland's path, Frederica leaves, which I don't really rely on her that much. It's actually kind of rare that I actually bring her into battles. And then, Frederica's path. Yeah, so Frederica's path, Benedict leaves. Roland's path, Frederica leaves. And then in Benedict's path, Roland leaves. And of the three, I think Benedict's path is the easiest because I don't really use Roland much at all. But anyways, all right, let's keep going here. So I'm going to go with I stand with Roland. So you agree with Prince Roland after we fought so bitterly to reclaim that which is ours. What leads you to give it away so freely? While I understand that it must have taken tremendous resolve to forfeit the kingdom for the sake of its people, it lays one thing quite bare, which is that King Roland's hatred for Ezfrost runs quite deep, too deep perhaps. So pray tell, what persuaded you to take his side? He speaks the truth. Equality under the goddess is more stable than Ezfrost's insistence that we fight for scraps. While we know too little about the Death Snail's true power, it would be unwise to fight a battle in which we rely on the unknown. I don't know, I'm going to go with the top
I wonder
option.
about that.
Ah, yes, stability and equality are very comforting words, but we know the true cost of those words in the Holy State. Aye, but I see no other way of obtaining either that would prove as enduring. You acknowledge that surrendering Glenbrook and the Salt Crystals will render them the most powerful nation in all of Norzelia, yes? Which is to say, you acknowledge your actions will condemn the Roselle to an eternity of oppression and exploitation? Yes, it is a trade I'm willing to make for the peace and security of so many... God! I mean, he's just going into this, with eyes wide open. So say the numbers, yes, but Frederica and the Roselle will find that to be a cold comfort. What then will you do once we submit to Hyzant's rule? Defeat Ezfrost and unite Norzelia in the name of the goddess, or work to change the holy state from within. I don't know, this, I guess, try to change it from within. In your capacity as one of the Saintly Seven? Exactly so. I believe I can change the way they treat the Roselle.
I wonder about that.
I fear your vision is rather fanciful, my lord. You are but one of them. They need only cast you out to be rid of your trifling rebellion. I see no logic in handing them more power and expecting them to change their ways. Indeed, such a plot would go against Roland's desire to save Norzelia through the goddess's teachings. I know you're doing this for Frederica. It is noble of you, and I commend you for it, but you cannot satisfy her and King Roland both. You must choose between them. Yeah, indifferent to your plea. Alright, so she didn't like that at all. Well, maybe we'll have better luck here with Anna. Benedict and King Roland would march us to war. Frederica would see Hyzant hunt us for all eternity. Perhaps her vision is not so different. So it's come to this. Ally with a one-time opponent or flee with the Roselle. Bold proposals all. Our tactics must be flawless. Right, I stand with Roland. Tell me one thing, my lord. King Roland aims to unify Glenbrook with promises of peace for the masses. Peace he will achieve by submitting to Hyzant and destroying Ezfrost. How do you find his proposal? You said it yourself, unifying or strategically sound. The time to topple Ezfrost is now. I'm going to appeal to Anna's, strategic mind.
In that case...
Agreed, and with the salt crystals in our possession, there may be no better opportunity. Waiting only gives them more time to prepare the death snow. Though, do you not wonder if this is merely King Roland enacting revenge? You take him at his word when he says he wants happiness for the masses. Though I am sure a hatred for Gustaf still burns deep within his breast. As is fitting, His Majesty is only human after all. Thank you, I appreciate your honesty. I pray that you do not err in the execution of your grand strategy. Alright, so she's deep in thought. So that's one vote I at least, swayed. Alright, let's see, what's Hugh at?
However...
Here we stand after a bitter fight to reclaim the crown city, only for the king to speak of forsaking it. As his subject, it is my duty to follow his decree, and yet... My lord, the choice before us feels immense. I am utterly adrift. Pray tell me how you see the proposals from King Roland and the others. I need your guidance. Alright, I stand with Roland. So you've cast your lot with King Roland. Are you certain the surrender of the kingdom is the answer? Hyzant is a formidable nation with both Elfric and the goddess's shield at their disposal. Can ill afford to make an enemy of them. Or Roland is preparing to give up the throne in order to protect his people, and we should honor his resolve. I don't know. I'm going to go with that. I have no intention of doing otherwise. I stand by my king, as I always have. He's done so much. He fought with every last fiber of his being to drive Ezfrost from our shores and reclaim the throne. He then saved Cordelia from their clutches, but now he'll surrender us all to the Hierophant. And for what? Sorry,
However,
my head follows his logic, well, but my heart cannot. Suppose we do submit to Hyzant, my lord, what will become of us? Ezfrost, starved of salt, will be forced to sue for peace. We will have the chance to avert war. Or I expect Hyzant will employ us as the first line of attack against Ezfrost in a fight to unify Norzalia. Honestly, I don't know which one is going to be the better choice here. Let's go with the bottom one. Yes, I imagine you're right. We would be tasked with breaking their ranks that Hyzant might strike Ezfrost down. Is it not enough that we laid the kingdom at their feet? Must we also give our lives for Hyzant? Not for Hyzant, Hewitt, but for Norzalia. Roland wishes to unite the continent under the goddess. Excuse me, that we may sell or save countless lives and bring peace to these lands. I see the wisdom in his vision and offer my sword in the fight for Norzelia's people. For Norzelia's people. Very well, you both are enamored with a grand vision of the future. Perhaps it is time I took a broader view myself. Wow, indifferent too. I'm not doing well here with convincing these guys. All right, let's talk with Eredor next. Our sweat and bloods fed this land, built it into a proper domain. I see no reason why we should surrender it all to Hyzant. And Lady Frederica, while I sympathize, asks that we risk everything for the sake of the Gazelle. Benedict's got the right of it, I reckon, but even that doesn't quiet the nagging feeling I get every time I think about our options. Alright, I stand with Roland. You agree with King Roland. What are you thinking, lad? Gustadolf has taken too much from all of us. His greed cannot continue unchecked, or Roland nearly tore himself apart. To arrive at this destination, I stand with my dear friend. I think I'm going to go with the top option. You'll hear no argument from me. Gustadolf's a lousy cur. I haven't forgotten all the blood he spilled. King Ragnar, the crown prince, to say nothing of taking the crown city from us. He set this painful chapter into motion, and I reckoned he's what's pushed King Roland to want to ally with Hyzant. He had his reasons, ending Hyzant's salt monopoly and espousing freedom among them. But he has disturbed the peace of Glenbrook, indeed all Norzalia, for too long. Ha! So it's revenge you're after. Why didn't you say you were carrying out the royal family's revenge from the start? That much I can understand. And I'm sure you'll see it done if it's the last thing you do as lord of a high house. Alright, so there he's deep in thought. That wasn't so bad. Alright, let's give this a shot, see if see if this is gonna work out. If I don't get enough votes, I need to reload my save. And the two indifferent pleas,
to cast our votes.
You know, isn't that great of an indication, but we'll see.
The opinions before us are many. Roland's, Frederica's, Benedict's. Which approach the scales of conviction with your token at the ready.
You aren't wrong, but...
Okay. So Gila's not voting with us. My apologies, Lord Serenoa, but I must place my token elsewhere.
You have my vote.
We got Anna, though. Put my faith in you, Lord Serenoa.
I have faith in you.
Alright, so that's going to be this is going to work out. Hewitt actually did end up voting with us, so I've decided that this is what's best for both King Roland and us all. And I assume Eredor is going to vote with us too, so we'll
I'm with you.
Yeah, alright, it's a good deal. My mind's all made up. You've got my vote, lad. Yeah, so kind of lucky there with Hewitt deciding with us, but...
The scales of conviction will illuminate the path we've chosen.
All right, yeah. So Gila didn't vote with us, that turkey, but yeah, let's
the way
do this.
forward is decided. We will stand by Roland, bend the knee to Hyzant, and unify Norzelia.
Ugh. Feels so gross. If griefs could, passions move. Man, 250 hours. Whew.
A tumultuous meeting exposes a yawning chasm between Roland, Frederica, and Benedict's visions for the future. Yet only one will emerge victorious, for such is the custom of House Wolford. As ever, the scales of conviction have the final word. The time has come for judgments to be rendered, and leaders to steel themselves for the outcome.
We've chosen our path. We will submit to Hyzant and bring down Esfrost in accordance with their wishes.
No. Pray. Stop and think about what you've chosen. You mean to endorse Hyzant's control and give them the world?
I know well what this means. Forgive me. I beg you.
This is how we will bring peace and equity to all Norzelia, Frederica.
That is a lie, and you know it. Every moment of peace will come at the expense of Rosellan lives. What kind of equity is that? You would free the Roselle held captive within Hyzant's walls if you cared one whit about equity.
The scales have spoken. Would that we could undo what is done. Alas, we cannot.
How could you? I thought House Wolford might show mercy and help free my people.
I know how painful this outcome is for you. But as a member of this house, I must ask you to accept the judgment of the scales.
Serenoa, you are an honest man. One who wants to do the right thing. Truth be told, it was those very qualities that I fell in love with.
Frederica, please.
But now, I find it loathsome. What you would claim as righteous will destroy the lives of those who have no voice. So allow me to speak on their behalf. The Roselle do not recognize the judgment rendered by the scales of conviction. I will defend my people's right to live, and so challenge you to a duel.
You what?
Do you hear yourself, Frederica? Think about what you're doing.
I haven't the luxury of thinking about anything else. Stand back, all of you. Best your own betrothed in combat, and we may proceed with your strategy. If, however, I am victorious, I will leave House Wolford and liberate the Roselle by myself.
Frederica, you needn't do that.
Clearly, I must do this alone. I wanted to be with you. Believe me, I did. But I cannot follow you down this path. I cannot abide the sacrifice of innocence, of my kin. Draw your blade, Serenoa Wolford. I regret nothing, my love. We have been through so much. I was proud to count myself as your family.
As was I. There is nothing for which I would trade the time we've shared.
Oh, but there is. I hope his friendship is worth it.
That's not what this is. He is committed to protecting his people, and I respect that. He has a vision for a peaceful, equitable Norzelia. One he fights for, even as it asks for the noble sacrifice of kingship and kingdom alike.
And the ignoble sacrifice of an entire people! How many times must I say that the Rosal live here too?
Frederica, please! I must first ensure the safety of those in the Wolfort domain. I cannot save everyone, no matter how much I might wish it were possible. My only choice was to end this war and save as many people as I could. Submitting to Hyzant's rule will ensure that all our subjects can prosper like never before. So many will finally know what it is to live in peace.
How wonderful for the people of the Wolfort domain that their lord puts them above all else. To whom can the Rosal turn for such guidance and protection?
I shall stand for them when the time comes. But for now...
They must be sacrificed. You too shall turn a blind eye. You're no different than the others. History is littered with those who swore they would come back for us. Liars, all. I never took you for a liar, Serenoa. We have the chance to break this vicious cycle. You know we do!
Enough, Frederica. I do not wish to lose you like this.
You needn't lose me at all. Just relent this foolishness. Do you remember what you told me when you welcomed me into House Wolfort? You told me this was my place now. My heart nearly burst. At last, I had a home. A place I belonged. I swore to myself I would follow you to the ends of the earth. Now I scarcely recognize that naive girl and her fanciful dreams. You have gone to the one place I cannot follow. May my powers be enough to make you see the light. On your guard!
As you wish. Come at me with everything you have.
Ah!
Ah!
You simply charge through everything, don't you? You have won, Serenoa. I submit to House Wolfort's judgment, and accept any punishment rendered upon me for rebelling against the scales.
There shall be no punishment. Nor will I force you to betray your conscience.
I don't understand.
You have made your commitment to the Roselle abundantly clear. I will not see your compassion twisted or compromised. For truth be told, it was those very qualities that I fell in love with.
Serenoa.
And so I would not bend your will to mine. Go. Now. While my back is turned. I pray that you stay ever true to yourself and never stop listening to your heart.
I knew there was good in you yet. You shall always have a place in my heart. Farewell, my love.
Wait, Frederica. I'm coming with you.
No, Sheila. You must stay. House Wolfort will need all the help they can get in the battle ahead. Please, take care of Serenoa and the others for me.
Is that truly what you wish?
I apologize for my endless selfishness. I cannot thank you enough for everything you've done for me. But now I must fulfill my own destiny.
I know you are determined to liberate the Roselle, but how will you accomplish that alone?
I will tell our story, the true history of Norzelia, to any in the realm who would listen. Of course, I do not expect their minds to change overnight. But I am sure there are those who will believe over time, and they will help me save the Roselle. And someday, there will be enough of us to shake the very foundation of the Goddess's teachings, and carve a path to freedom for my people.
That path may very well open for them, but getting there will not be easy, and the journey will be fraught with danger.
I know, but it is the path my mother walked. I will follow in her footsteps and go further than she did. I wish to see the future she could not.
It appears I have nothing left to teach you. But promise me one thing. Promise that you will live, Frederica. No matter what happens, stay strong.
I promise, Sheila.
Determined to free the Roselle, Frederica leaves her beloved Serenoa behind. Roland reveals the salt crystal deposits to Hyzant and bends the knee, offering up everything, including the Grand Norzelian mines, to the Holy State. The Holy One accepts his offer, joining the two nations in everything but name, and both Serenoa and Roland are summoned to the Hierophant's palace.
Okay, that is going to be it for this one. As always, hope the guide was helpful, and thanks for watching.